Hello, welcome to the Opinionistics. I'm your host, John Malone. Don't have any co-hosts because reasons. Maybe a Twitter space, but who knows? So, introducing from Santa Barbara, California, Yvette Keller.
Oh, and me.
You're welcome. So, Yvette, what do you do for a living?
Mm, all of the most jobs, actually. I write, do research on science fiction. I know audio, which a lot of fascinated by, and which is absolutely. And I people learn things and do voiceovers for corporations. They're for businesses who reason customers something to. I all of them.
Okay, fabulous. And how long have you been doing all of that for?
Mhm. I was Valley as for before moving to my hometown of Santa Barbara, and so it's going on. Is gonna going on 30 years of being in a training program, and about 13 years. That one's Denver, and also writing books and things.
Fabulous. So, what inspired you to get into like industrial voice acting and well, a whole lot of other things. It's
Other
so
things,
much.
yeah, absolutely. So when I started doing a lot, and I started to writing with leaders and groups, where I had friends who there's a moment author either independently publishes their book or maybe have a book deal with us, and they're like, "Ugh, audiobooks expensive." Moment where I number of different author friends who I was in writers groups with. Well, you talk a lot and you tell stuff for me. And at the time I was like, "Oh, I'm not I wouldn't even know the first about it. I, it would look like record a audiobook." And then I sort of started to think about the experiences I've had, the experience. At that point, I had done or developed developed because I had a critical back. You know what? All these people are do it. Maybe I should in that CX creator exchange and me, and you can sign up for it. Anybody can sign up for it. Give it see how. And I did with a friend of mine's. It's like a military romance, and there's this like sultry had a Spanish read really not narrator, but great. I am not, and and so that was one step back. And when people would ask, "Could you just like, huh, voice that you've written this back? Why would you be a good?" And I started active in books I thought would be a fun and that my voice was appropriate for. Initially, what and it might be fun. Much how to get a dream job.
Hmm. All right then. Fabulous. And this is a question that comes from the top of my head. Have you ever thought about living off the grid?
In husband often says that definitely the evil Lord air that out of Southern California because desert and would people 24/7 if he could. For me, I think living off the grid would be darn rough. I'm a in many places that I've lived in my life. Santa Barbara, familiar. They call it the of states, and we have this beautiful Mediterranean climate. Born and raised here. University, California is also a beautiful town with a and it's also and then just which has the most incredible resources and smart people doing incredible things. Me, I'm an extrovert. That first of all, be that was pretty enough and still off the grid. But if the only people are the other people off, and I love meeting to new people. I just don't know if I could hack the alone, quite frankly.
Okay, I can see that. So, as your term as a voiceover,
Mm,
what do you enjoy about doing voiceovers?
See things. Mm, I started reading at a very young age, and I was also verbal at a very young age. And reading narrate audiobook to education to people whom I've is that the level of control that you have to have. So audio 15 over the course 200, 300. Every time here's that character sound like the same person, sound not like character or not like you. And so the things that I very much is making sure that I can control I my voice, whether that's something very simple like a pace that sound is changing the voice to make sound like some there are musicality to it, and there's all which I have vision first. So I read the book and I imagine who's that character? Where is that character? What is it? And get to use voice to see that the listener in a way that is rewarding for them, a way that story forward the author has written. What I enjoy is first read books. Second of all, to use my voice to make those stories complete, especially for people who, for whatever reason, can't themselves. Um, have a very rich, internal, imaginative world, and I want to be able to.
All right, that's nice. Yeah, very good.
I think I have.
Oh yes, absolutely. If you had 500 acres of land, what would you use that land for?
Oh, now if you ask me that night, I was because I was a horse obsessed little girl. Um, watched Last Unicorn, Peter S.B. novel as well. Right now, where it is, assuming that it would within a distance of would probably build housing on it. That sounds bad because five of that's going on right now in California have this incredible living huge house, a lot of tech careers to lean on. They have not very fortunate I have to invest in real estate. Their housing is stable. There's just a lot of people all of California. It's such an interesting, wonderful, fantastic, exciting to live. Who really find this again permanently so many. I had this of mine who's to live in within her price has a job. I'm she's not a business owner, she's not making it, and she has actually had to move 50 miles away, find how outside of the city and commute. I think that all cities would be much more vibrant and so much better if more was more for people, had better mass transit. And California, United States, bad at that. At it, with 200 houses, they, maybe sell some of it off in order to put a or something so that people or a bicycle. I don't know. There's all kinds of crazy things I would try to do, but mostly I would get people and make sure that they had goods.
Yeah, to be honest, I would have said the same thing.
Where are you located?
I'm in Manchester, in the United Kingdom.
Oh, of course. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've been to Bank Observatory because, of course.
Oh, fabulous.
Now you know everything that I know better.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Would you rather have extra fingers or extra toes?
My goodness. I would like a third arm, please. No, I would. Uh, these are I when I was I did it a lot of hiking and a lot of cycling. Will advise anything balance, anything that would make me better and take a little bit of pressure on me. Very much needed.
Yes, I absolutely agree. How did you spend your last birthday?
A group of friends to come full women only dance local clubs. Or I think the I'm not I don't have any children. Other than crested and cockatoo named Jeremy, who is turning 6 this year. But it was towards like mom to like, go out and have a night, dance, but let be home and in bed by 10. So like 7 or to go like 9. We were just able to dance like cool, send a list of all of our favorite dance tunes, and then just go home and go to sleep. And it was amazing.
Ah, yes, of course. And another question from the top of my head.
Yeah.
Have you heard of a drink called banana friche?
Anna Frita.
Friche.
Oh, I have no. I was hoping you were going to say Pangalactic Gargle Blaster.
I don't know what that is.
I know what a banana is. Hey,
I I guess we're both even. Yes, we're both even.
banana in it. Put in so blast drink they fought in the Hitchhiker's Galaxy, which project. So yeah, that is the in the notes is the Pan Galactic Gargle Blast.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
So what's a banana frite?
So it is a mix between a milkshake and a smoothie. So it's
Oh,
more of the smooth creaminess and it's this mix of a smooth, thick taste of the iciness of a
oh yeah,
banana kind of.
for sure. I love those. I mostly drink sort of smooth, but I do love it when I eat and some ice cream in them.
Mm. Ah, yes, very good. If you could travel to anywhere in the world, where would it be?
My answer, this is something I've given a lot of thought to. It's uh, the Grand Tour around 1895. So, familiar with the one of one of the books talks all about that. And they go to buy her clothes to London to buy his clothes, and then they have their servants and all of the trunks, and they proceed to over and eat elephants that you know um, uh, Britain had not made safe. Just go and travel around. That's what I would in time do the grand in the very late. Um, day that trickier question because there are many places that I would love to see, either difficult and expensive to get to, or unsafe, or both. Um, and I've great.
Okay, that's pretty cool. If the internet suddenly stopped existing, what would you do with the time you used to spend on it?
I would do collage, and
Ah, very good.
that's
What
an easy
game
one.
have Oh, okay, yeah. What game have you spent the most hours playing?
I don't think I have much time at school and oh, um, those were the last really that I spent hours and hours and hours on. These days, it's just the occasional whist on Apple. Then talking about if you're talking about games, it's probably something Settlers of Catan or Onion or lot playing. Probably my
Ah, okay. That's intriguing, I say.
gamer.
Oh, yes, I could tell. What would you choose as the eighth wonder of the world?
I'm gonna admit I don't know what the first are, so I can't tell you be that I think is incredibly probably underrated on the list is um is and many of out in the park. Incredible. I don't think
Yeah,
very
you're right.
well.
Yeah, absolutely. So, anyway, would you ever try space tourism?
Yeah, same reason I had a time picking a place to travel. I think it would be very uncomfortable.
Hmm, okay. Intriguing. I would never thought about that, to be honest.
I'd rather just, read them and wonderful books that are written about space, I think, than personal. I mean,
Okay.
really, you have to pee into a vacuum cleaner. How comfortable could it be?
Oh, that's just weird. Who would do that?
Astronauts do it
Well, that's a good point.
at the suction.
Yeah. Oh, yes, the suction. Do you enjoy spicy food?
I do. Indians, um, than spicy.
Oh, okay. That's cool. I
Give
remember yesterday.
me masala over, Italian sausage any day.
Oh, yes. I remember yesterday, I went to visit my sister in Leeds, and I went to a Portuguese, a South African Portuguese style restaurant called Nando's. I had a
Mm.
very, very spicy sunset burger. I asked for for the really hot factor, and yeah, I enjoyed it. My parents thought I won't be coping the heat, but I did. In fact, I crave the spiciness of food, so I love spicy food more than anyone, to be honest.
Oh, that's fantastic. There was a burger joint in the Bay that would a sticker and a t-shirt and all kinds of cool swag if you could eat the entirety of a burger. And his this was for I was not for this story of the habanero burger and get through and like, sweating so much water.
Oh, that's hot.
Habaneros are really pepper.
I would want to try that sometime and see if I could handle the heat.
Look it up burger next time you're visiting the United States. Probably still.
All right then. So look at that. Have you ever experienced any paranormal activities?
Hmm. Have sort of uh uh in my and a to pick up and put things together that think I always know what's going to happen. A lot of times that comes through. Now, that's paranormal or not extra sense, not. I definitely a little bit of a rush, like a little bit of a sense of excitement when I encounter that sort of synchronicity. I don't think that's paranormal. I think that's just and that it if people were to the other people in their life going on really more attention, everybody feel that. But I think that's the ghosts really um particularly unusual.
Hmm. Okay. Cool, cool. I'm just thinking now, processing my mind. Oh yes. If someone wrote a book about you, what do you think its title would be?
Mm. Oh, that's so tricky. Um, I think it would probably like 7 BB colon a Gen X. I can't want to write a book about my life because it's kind of this just it's weird. But I think that would be the thing is having somebody as a tiny child and having to reinvent myself or my life and have a great life. Have a life. I'll go with
Okay, sounds good. If your life was a meal, what kind of meal would it be?
be a summer afternoon with a crazy, diverse, giant long table full of dishes. Some were tasty, some of which the store, some of which were whipped up, some of which were completely delicious because a group of friends. There's just a is an amazing, but it would be a hodgepodge. Some
Okay. Yeah, you're making me hungry now. I actually want to try that. Yeah, so savory. Yow.
Oh yeah, cold fried chicken and white potato salad. Somebody will bring a kale and dressing, and eat it for sure. Great things, but
Okay, intriguing. I love it. And I got another question from the top of my head, which is a record for this podcast and across many podcasts of the umbrella that is Intersect Media. Have you ever thought of living in a world that is nothing but gardens?
have now. I think that would be fantastic. A garden, you had a that grew this, and you had a garden. Actually, this is I had that was called something like the Tale of the Live Dolls, and in that story, grew on magical trees. Get to put on your little doll, would go would pick it, and you before ripe was a little bit off. But I actually remember reading a story like that when I was a child. At some level, I have it, not recently, 40. Yes, you know, it would be interesting to certain in order to get some of the things that we're used to in our lives.
Ah, yes, of course. That'd be quite the challenge for survival, in my opinion. And that is all we have for this episode. It's great having you here, Yvette, talking about your works as an author, your voiceover professionally, and many other things. It's been fabulous.
Oh,
You're welcome. And until next time, stay opinionated.